Okay, shall we begin then? I hope everybody can hear me.
So do we have Janelle in the online?
Not yet.
Okay, should we wait? Let's give her a couple of seconds, see if she will join. She has accepted the meeting, correct?
She said tentative.
Okay. Okay, let's start.
Thank you. So welcome to everybody to this webinar that we are hosting, especially for the industry symposium hosts at the World Congress of Nephrology. We are really excited to have you all on the call now that we're coming back from the new year and WCN is in sight at the end of March. So we wanted to organize this sort of tutorial webinar to give you the information that's in the manual clearly so that your organization in the run-up over these next 2 or 3 months and the participation during the Congress goes very smoothly. So we are excited to share with you as well during this webinar all of the activities that you can expect to happen at WCN so that you're aware, so that you can share it with your colleagues and make the most out of your time at WCN and to make it as big of a success as possible. This webinar will be recorded, so if you want to, you can refer back to any of the information presented today. I will pass on to Roman. Roman is the Business Development Administrator at the ISN, so she's really the main contact for all of the goings-on for WCN and your participation.
Thank you, Charlie. Yes, we'll put the recording and the slides in the manual after the call. So here's the agenda for today. Thank you all for your time, for being here with us. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat and we'll address every question during the Q&A. So we're gonna go over the planning tools for you, the main contact, the Congress details, the schedules, symposium information, catering, program, promotion tools, as well as registration, and then we'll move on to the Q&A part of the presentation. Just wanted to start by reminding everyone that the most important tool is the manual, of course, and everything that we'll mention today is detailed in the different tabs of the manual. It's also worth mentioning the registration portal. We'll talk about it more, but it's one of the other tools that you can use to prepare your venue at WCN. So let's start with the main contacts. Of course, your main point of contacts are us, Charlie and I. You all know Charlie, the BD manager, and me, I am the business development and social project administrators. A lot of logistic queries will go through me, but feel free to write to us anytime. We're here to help. For AV and presentation management, we're working with RP Media. Here's their contact. For catering, every catering queries will go through Annie at NCC. And our local agent is CDM. They can assist you with accommodation, staff hostesses for your symposium, as well as badge planning devices. And I will now let Paolo present you the Congress details. Over to you, Paolo.
Thank you, Roman, and welcome to everybody. Very quick introduction to the venue. The venue is the Queen Sirikit National Convention Center. It is a brand new exhibition and congress center built in the city center of Bangkok. The district is called Sukhumvit, and it is very well connected via MRT, which is the metro, and it has a direct station connecting to the full network of the Bangkok transportation system. Therefore, we would advise you to take the opportunity of using a public transportation and MRT to reach the WCN'23 venue. This to be quick and fast in reaching the venue. The venue is very modern, efficient, sustainable, with a lot of daylight. Most of the spaces are with daylight, especially all the foyer. Our spaces, our meeting rooms, exhibition, symposium rooms, foyers are all located in one level. So very easy to reach for you, the delegates and the guests you may have. Can you go to the next slide? Here are the organizers and the Congress chairs. WCN is hosted, organized by ISN, APSN, and the National Society, the Nephrology Society of Thailand. You may know that this is a joint Congress organized with the 21st APCN Congress. So it has a regional, a national, a regional, and an international, let's say, approach. When it comes to the Congress chairs, you see on the right side of the slide of the presentation, the Congress president is Professor Agnes Fogel. When it comes to the local organizing committee, you see here the representation of the Nephrology Society of Thailand and the Asian Pacific Society of Nephrology. Can we move to the next slide, please? This is a very important achievement and something that we are very proud of, because we will have on March the 30th, on the first day, pre-Congress Day, the presence of Her Royal Highness, the Princess Maha Chakri Sirindorn, who will formally open the Congress and address participants in the opening ceremony. There will be a very specific program and information on the protocol we will have all to follow, and this will be provided to you in due time. This is all for me. If you have any specific requirements, information, you can reach out to my colleagues at the business development team, and they will forward it to me if necessary. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so WCN really is a week-long event, and we wanted to share with you sort of an overview of how that whole week will go and how that will pan out. But before I explain those activities in a little bit more detail, I just wanted to outline how WCN will be delivered. WCN is taking place in Bangkok, in Thailand, in the venue just shared by Paolo. And all of the scientific program presented on stage in the venue is going to be live streamed to a streaming platform. It is a streaming platform rather than a fully virtual congress that you might have seen over the past years. Really, the service that we are prioritizing is to make available the scientific sessions of WCN to those who cannot travel maybe, or those who want to catch up later. So HCPs online who have registered and paid can follow the live stream and on-demand sessions. Industry symposia follow this same format of taking place in Thailand and being live streamed and put on demand. However, one big difference that we are very glad to be doing is that we will continue to make the online symposia open access. So practically, this means that delegates can watch online, but also those who may want to follow your Sympo, but perhaps not able to register fully, can still do so. So they can sign up with an open access reg category, and they'll be able to watch the Sympo for free. And then those, of course, who are fully registered can follow as well. So we're still developing that streaming platform of WCN and how you will be able to communicate this to your networks but we'll make sure to share that with you very soon. Coming back to the WCN week, so separating it into pre-Congress, main Congress days, and then on demand. We open the week with what we call Raising the Curtain sessions. So over 3 days, we roll out a series of online presentations. These are done with our collective and regional societies, and they've designed their own programs to make sure that they're very relevant to the audiences in those areas. They'll be rolled out in the time zones. These are free, they're open access. They really are to open the Congress, gather excitement for WCN, and then sort of make their way from west to east, ending up in the OSEA region on the 29th. At the same time, there is a satellite meeting taking place. So this is an official satellite meeting of WCN. It's taking place just before the Congress. It's in a different venue and part of Thailand, different registration. And if you want more information about that, it is on the Congress website. Then on March 30th, things start to kick off really. This is the day where the courses have been scheduled. There are 7 different courses. Of course, all of the popular topics that you would expect, as well as some new exciting ones. These have limited space, of course. They take place in person and in most cases interactive with live demos. So if you're interested, you can register for this. It's a separate registration. On the same day, we will be organizing the Professor Donald O'Donoghue Global Kidney Policy Forum. This is a high-level policy discussion. Health ministry officials, WHO representatives, all can be expected, as well as nurses, patients, and you as well, your industry, of course, are invited. And this is included in your registration. So now coming to March 30th to April 2nd, what you consider as sort of the main Congress days. We have exhibition, the scientific program officially starts. Opening plenary is the first session on March 30th, that's the Thursday, in the evening, followed by the opening of the exhibition with the welcome reception. And then you have industry symposia, of course, on Friday and Saturday. And I'll just switch to the next slide to sort of zoom in on these. From 7:30 to 8:15, we have breakfast symposia, lunch symposia 1 till 2, and then afternoon symposia 5 till 6. In between these sessions, you can see we have the scientific program running. And in addition, from 4 till 5, we will have scheduled moderated poster sessions. So this is something a little different. Usually have run these poster sessions over lunchtime, but to really allow them the time that they deserve, we have allowed the lunch symposia to run unopposed to any other activities, and the same for the moderated poster sessions. So they'll be held in the afternoon. We are going to run through the badges and registrations later, but just looking at the symposium schedule in terms of access, symposium organizers will be able to access your rooms 15 minutes prior to the start of your session. So if it's a lunch session, badge control will let you in at 12:45 so that you can begin at 1 p.m. And if you feel like you might want some more time, if you want to get familiar with the setup, do a quick practice with your speakers, we can organize a rehearsal beforehand. You just need to let us know and book that with us. We make sure that the right staff are there to go through everything. So that's really a bird's eye view of the Congress week and the timings of the sympo. So I will pass back to Raman now. She's going to take you through the whole package again and sort of check these off as we go through the webinar.
Thank you. So included in your symposium package is the following: the rental of the room, the standard AV equipment. We'll go over it in the next slide. You have the opportunity to provide an A4 program to be displayed in our symposium ebook promotion. You have the right to use the speaker preparation room to go over presentations and to upload the presentations before the symposium. You have the right to use the Congress logo on your invitations, your promotional documents. We've prepared a promotional pack for you. We just need to approve the artwork before you get it out there, just to see that the right wording is used, but just shoot it out and we'll approve it right away. In your package, you also have the live stream of your symposium on the Congress streaming platform, and the fact that your symposium will be put on the ISN Academy after WCN for 12 months in open access. With that, you also have the ability to streaming virtual speakers. If one of your speakers is not able to travel at that time, no worries. You can live stream them in, sorry. And finally, each symposium organizers has received 5 symposium only access to give out to your colleagues if they want to attend. And yeah, as we mentioned and we'll mention again, they give access to their symposium room at the time of the session. So going to the room setup. In all symposium rooms, you will have at least 2 handed microphones, 1 sound system, 1 comfort monitor on stage, 1 speaker podium, 1 clicker, 2 tables, 4 chairs, and a camera. Just note that we have 2 bigger symposium rooms that are Ballroom 1 and Plenary Hall 1, so the setup can slightly change, but just due to the bigger size, they will have more handed microphones, for instance, and Plenary Hall 1 has 2 cameras instead of 1, but the standard setup as it is now remains the same. Due to the strict schedule of WCN that we just saw, the setup cannot be changed. However, if you want, you can purchase podium branding. That's the only kind of branding we offer in the room. And you can also purchase badge scanning devices to, that's our partner, CDM is taking care of badge scanning devices. Okay, so moving on to on-site procedures and the floor plan. I'm sure you're all very familiar with this floor plan now, but just so we go over it again, in green you see all the symposium rooms. They're all on the right side of the building except Ballroom 1. As mentioned, Ballroom 1 and Plenary Hall 1 are bigger capacity. They have around 600 packs, whereas the smaller MR rooms have 360 packs capacity. If you don't know your room, they're all in the manual. They have been allocated already. Just feel free to check it after the after this Q&A webinar. The speaker preview room is room MR101. Your speakers can access this non-stop from March 30th to April 2nd from 7:30 till 5. Presentations must be uploaded in this room at least 2 hours before your symposium slots. We'll have technicians on site to help you in the room. And just wanted to make clear that as symposium organizers, you're the only one in contact with your speakers. Therefore, you're responsible to make sure they are registered for WCN, to make sure that they have an access, a badge, and to make sure that they receive all those information, the procedures, the presentation specs, the floor plan, and so on and so forth. Just to make that clear, ISN will not be communicating with your symposium speakers. Moving on, catering is not mandatory for your symposium, of course, but it's always nice to organize some catering. It encourages people to come to your symposium. The bookings are handled by Annie from NCC. They're going through a booking form that you can find on the manual with everything more detailed there, but mainly you have different menu box options. You have lunch options, lunch boxes, which are the grab and go, the Asian executive box with either Japanese or Western cuisine, and the Thai box. Those boxes, they're easy. They will be set up outside of the room 15 minutes before the session, and people can grab them and just go eat in the room. They all have drinks in them, so pretty easy. For afternoon slots, afternoon Simpo, you can also choose to have those menu boxes, and you can choose to have two other packages, which are the welcome reception package, as well as the pre-dinner reception. These are more snacks platters instead of individual boxes. Of course, on site we'll have venue staff that will assist with catering outside of the room. So it's all going to be going very smoothly. And now to you for the program.
So for the program of the Industry Symposia, so these are organized by you and developed by the hosts. Please submit the programs of your symposia session to us. There is an online form. Just make sure that we receive all the required fields, which are listed here and listed in the manual. So you can just make sure that you have all of those ready before you start the form. Programs are submitted as the Congress Organizing Committee do review them. The chair of the Scientific Program Working Group and the chair of the Local Organizing Working Group. So just a quick reminder, please do that by January 23rd. This is an important step, of course. The chairs will review and you will hear back from us latest by February 14th. But hopefully, if everything is submitted on time, this should be a fairly quick process. And this has been organized in a timeline or a way that allows us enough sufficient time to start communicating these programs and the symposia schedule to our members, to delegates, and other HCPs. So that's all on the program. If you go to the next slide. So here's what you can expect in terms of promotion from ISN, pre-Congress, during and after. We will communicate your Sympo program before the Congress through various channels. I put in red font where we will need you to provide some material to do so. So that's clear, but first we will host on the WCN website. This will be an interactive program book, so delegates can flick through programs. Please send this an A4 sized visual. If you can wait until you have the official yes from the program review, and then the deadline is March 1st. But if you submit it sooner, we will put them up, of course. This will be sort of the starting point for then the next communications. We keep referring back to the program book, the program ebook, so this is the first step. Furthermore, the ISN will take care of social media and email promotions. Again, we will link back to the book in these communications. On site, there will be digital screens in the exhibition hall looping your symposium. We should be able to use your A4 size visual for this, so nothing else required. Also, on the digital screens outside each room, your symposium will be clearly labeled. And then, in addition, you may bring a roll-up banner that you can place yourself outside of the entrance. Post-Congress, following WCN and even the months thereafter, we continue to promote the recorded version of your symposium as these are open access and available. So we are glad to have lots in motion here around all of the promotion aspects. If you want to explore some additional ways to highlight your own symposium, there are, of course, lots of different ways to. We've reminded you of some in the manual. If you look under optional extras, you can find things like delegate bag inserts, push notifications for the online viewing, doing some additional emails. It is all possible. And now is a good time really to confirm anything additional. And then lastly, we've given you a link to the WCN promo pack. So this is a web page that we put together. It has all of the different sizes, templates of WCN formats. So it's there, just take really what you need. You can edit it. And if you want to do some kind of Twitter post or something, it makes it a little bit easier.
Okay, moving on to a big part, registrations. So we'll have 3 types of registration depending on your type of support, mainly. The first one is the full Congress. They're only given to premium supporters, or you can purchase them on the website. They give access to all WCN in person or virtual. On the badges, you'll have the delegate names that will be displayed, so you have to fill in the details on the registration portal. That's on the first side. You can order extra full registrations on the portal for your group under the tab My Group Registrations. The second type of registration is the exhibitor badges. They're given to all WCN exhibitors. It's worth mentioning because they only give access to the exhibition hall and not to scientific sessions or symposium rooms. On this badge, you'll only have the company's names. And yeah. Next is the symposium only passes. All of you symposium organizers have received 5 of them. They will give you access to your symposium room during the time of the sympo, so 15 minutes before for setup, and then until the end of the sympo. They will only show the company's name, so you don't need to fill out any details, and it's not possible to buy any extra. They only give access to the symposium, not to the exhibition hall, not to scientific sessions. Regarding the registration process, again, everything is detailed in the manual, but the person that submitted the company's booking form to ISN is the main point of contact, and therefore the registration group was created under their name. The group leader, as we call it, has gotten an email from Registrations WCN that details every step, but the group leader is responsible for providing registration names in the portal only for full Congress registration. As mentioned, if you only have symposium only registration, then it's fine. The group leader doesn't need to do anything except if they want to purchase more registrations. We advise to only keep 1 registration group and 1 group leader per company. It will make things easier for everyone. So if you want to purchase more group registration, full registration, you should just go under the group leader's account and use their access. For on-site badges collection, again, the group leader will be contacted in February by the registrations team to make an appointment to collect all the company's badges that are under this group. The appointment needs to be taken before March, and it can be, the group leader can, I don't know, design another, design, is that a word? Sorry. Design another person to pick up the badges. That's absolutely fine. You just need to let us know, mainly. That's it for us. Thank you for listening. Just reminding everyone, the slides, the recording will be available on the manual after the meeting today. If you don't have any questions, feel free to leave now. But we will go through the questions in the chat just now. Okay.
Sure. I will go to Ashrina. I see you have your hand raised, and then maybe we can just go through the chat questions. Feel free to unmute yourself, ask the question.
Thank you both for the presentation. It's really informative, so thank you for taking the time. I have a couple of questions, so I hope you don't mind. One was the speaker room, which is fine in terms of the timings, etc. What I was wondering is, do we upload one file? So, for example, for Novartis, we have 3 speakers. We can create one PowerPoint file with all the presentations together. So do we upload that one file, or does it need to be individual speaker files?
Yeah. So if you, in the case that you are collecting all the presentations for your speakers, so you will have them all together and you will be the one going to the speaker preview room, bring the slides in a folder separated. You won't have to combine them. And the technicians there will upload them for each speaker. It normally is a bit nicer to do it individually, just for the flow of the presentation.
Okay. And then how will the speakers know, will the technicians time that in terms of when speakers swap over, they will change the presentations for us, I assume?
Yeah, exactly. So the technicians will have all of the industry symposia programs and the timings, the ones that you've provided to us. So based on that, they will have the presentations ready to switch. They'll also, of course, follow sort of how the sympo is going. So if it's going a little bit longer with one presentation, it's not going to switch over too early or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. The other thing I noticed was the rehearsal slots. So I believe they are, because we've got them booked for Novartis. I believe the slots are 10:15 to 10:45. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They're a bit short.
But then in the screenshot that you had of the program, I don't know if you can go back to that slide, where you've got each of the lunchtime symposia. I think there's a coffee break. Yeah, so the coffee break is 10 to 10:30. But I suppose that's the whole program coffee break. Is that correct? I'm just wondering if there's a clash there, or whether, you know, if it goes to 10:15 to 10:45, we're still allowed in our designated rooms.
Yeah, good question. So we tried to schedule those rehearsal slots. We tried to find a time where there is rooms available. It's quite a packed schedule for WCN. Yep. So they start during the coffee break, and then if you run over into the last 15 minutes, it's the plenary. But so only the plenary room will be in use on those last 15 minutes. So the other rooms are free.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. Thank you for that. And then my last question, sorry for having so many, was with regards to registration and the Sympo only badges. So would they, I think you said you can use those to enter for 15 minutes before and after. I myself are coming on site, so would that be a badge that I use? Or, you know, could I come in to look around and come for the technical rehearsal and do all those things around the Sympo with a symposium only badge? Or would I need a different badge?
It's really your choice. So these badges are usually used for if you have a speaker that's not registered to the Congress that would need a badge to access the room, or for staff like yourself who need to be there to organize it and to run it.
Okay, so I would be able to use that badge for the rehearsal slot and anything around my symposia.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's move on to the chat's question. How are the rooms assigned? Some rooms are bigger than others. Thank you for your question, Sipin. The rooms were assigned during the bookings. The person that booked mainly the bigger room were more expensive than the smaller room, if that makes sense. So that's how they were assigned during the booking. We cannot change them now. How will the symposium be advertised by ISM? I think we went over that. Do I need to place ads in the Congress platform or e-newsletters? That's up to you. Those you can purchase ads on the Congress platforms in the newsletters. Just shoot us an email. We can make that work. And yeah, will placing ads cost anything? Yes, you can see in the manual under the tab optional extras, you have all the costs underlined and how to book, and you also have the guidelines. Thank you. Okay. How much for the lunch, afternoon box, and each options? You have the order form in the manual with all the prices, but the higher price is 1,000 Thai baht per person, and that's for the welcome reception package. So the lunch box are around 950 Thai baht per person. Are the content deadlines in January, February, and March different from each other? Yes, these are for if you book not in the newsletter, then the newsletter are on different dates, and therefore you need to send us the content on different dates, if that makes sense. What stuff should I consider booking for the symposia? If only the speakers and myself would be in Bangkok, what else would I need? That's really up to you. I think if you can run things, just you with the speakers, that should be fine.
Yeah, I think it depends on your needs a little bit. I think you should have your registration and your speakers then covered by the passes included in your package.
And another question is with regards to the room setup, are we able to get additional microphones, for example, lapel microphones?
So for the AV setup, as Roman shared, it's not possible to change the AV setup. However, we will try to be flexible. So if you can reach out to us, we'll do our best to see what is possible, and on a case-to-case basis.
And I see someone has their hand raised. Feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Yes, my name is Nut from Thailand. I have a question, maybe two questions to you. One is for our symposium that treat as like an independent grant to the ISN. So do we need to like prepare the invitation for our customer to join the session, or do we have to get the permission to do first? I'm not sure for the mechanism. And another question is for the hotel booking. Do we need to perform via the ISN, or we should perform directly to each hotel? This is my questions.
Sure, I can answer that. Hi, Note.
So
we will, for the first question, we will be communicating all of the sympos to the ISN membership around the world and delegates. So that will include the AstraZeneca Sympo as well. However, if you want to, and we encourage you to do so, if you want to share invitations to your own networks, absolutely free to do that. We can help you with providing any visuals you need. The promo pack will have some logos and things like that if you want to use it. Bear in mind, if they are coming on site to follow the Sympo, they'll have to register. If they are following only online, they will still register, but it will be no fee. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, and that you mentioned about the live stream, it's mean the audience should be registered first, or we can tell any person to join online.
Yeah, so there will be a registration required. So it's really just a short registration form so that they can access the platform. And yeah, I think, and then for your second question as well, can you remind me, sorry, Noosh?
For the hotel booking.
Oh yeah, thank you. So we're working with a local partner, CDM, who are organizing the hotels for WCN. So we have some information on the website. If you reach out to them, they can make some suggestions and help you to book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have another question on the chat from Will. Hi, Will. Is there a WCN ISN slide template you request, or can we use your own? So you're absolutely free to use your own template. If you don't have one, we are providing one in the promo pack. And are you able to advise on any vaccinations that may be required? And you can find all that information on the WCN website. There's a whole categories that is called, if I'm not mistaken, about and practicalities. Under registration and practicalities on the website, you have everything, a lot of information about vaccines, accommodation, venue, visas, information. So we try to keep that up to date and so that it's easy to find. I can send you the link if you want.
Michael or Paolo, do you want to add anything?
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So far, Thailand has introduced recently a vaccination protocol, which means that from January the 8th until the end of January, you need to provide a full vaccination certificate, meaning at least 2 doses of a recognized vaccine to enter Thailand. This doesn't mean that will be extended until the end of March and during our dates, but you need to keep this in mind, that some few restrictions may apply due to the fact that with opening now the borders for all the countries, every countries are trying to let's say, reduce the possibility of increasing the number of COVID cases in their own homelands. Having said this, in due time and whenever we will receive an update on the vaccinations and entry restriction to Thailand, we will make them available on our website. On the other end, please make sure to check with your travel agents if there are any last-minute restrictions available in the country, because this is the best practice we advise you to consider for this. When it comes to hepatitis or any other vaccine, not required so far. We are just talking about this current recommendation, which are very flexible, I have to say.
Thank you. Someone else has their hand raised. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry, it's Esharina again. Just a couple more questions. One, I was just wondering about questions being moderated after our Sympo in our Q&A. Do you know at this time how that will occur if it's online? Do you have a specific platform?
Yes, so we're still working on the platform, and we just want to make sure that it's finalized before we give you the information. As far as I know, Paolo, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the Q&A is usually turned off after sessions, but let us confirm this to you in the coming weeks, all things with the virtual platform.
Okay, perfect.
Correct. In general, we are trying to have Q&A at the end to make sure that the flow of the presentations is going on, and we leave enough space at the end for Q&A with virtual and on-site speakers, as well as the with the on-site audience.
Okay, perfect. So we could have somebody looking at those questions before they go live. Is that the way we can work? Just so that we can moderate them in terms of sort of off-label, etc.
Yeah, using Slido, of course, you can,
Slido,
because
okay.
Slido has, of course, an option to moderate questions and to make the
Yep.
questions available. our suggestion for this is to invite also the people, the guests, the delegates in the room in person to ask the questions through Slido, so that you can channel all of them through your moderation and make the questions that you want the chair to ask to the speakers.
Okay, perfect. But we do have mics set up for live participation for questioning as well? Or have I misunderstood that?
No, that's correct.
You have both?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. The other thing, I don't know whether we at some point we'll be able to get like a floor plan of the rooms that we are allocated to see the position of the mics. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Correct. We have asked both the venue and the AV partners to prepare the technical floor plan of each room, so that we can first check that is correct and aligned with our expectation, and to share all of them with you.
Perfect.
We'll put it in the manual when it's available.
Great. That's absolutely great. And the last, well, I don't know, it might be my last question. Sorry, I'm hogging the phone here. I know that we're live streaming the symposia, the industrial symposia, and there's, sorry if I miss it, there's a recording of that as well, isn't there? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. 2 questions on that. Would we be able to get a transcript of the recording? Or is it just the recording?
This I have to look into.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's possible right now. I'll make a note of it,
Okay.
and I'll come back to you on that.
Perfect, that's fine. And this might be too early in the process, but do we know when the recording would be available post Congress? 2 weeks, 1 week?
Oh, it's usually so in terms of when the on-demand video is available very quickly, within hours.
Okay.
And then it stays online usually for 12 months, either at first on the streaming platform, and then it will move to the ISN Academy, which is our educational platform. So it stays open access for all of that period.
Okay. But will we be sent an MP4 file for each company that has done an industry symposia?
Yeah, you will have to
Separately.
request it. Just reach out to us. This is something you require,
Okay.
and we'll organize.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? And if not,
For
I
the
think-
booth, for the booth exhibition, can we set up the booth in advance? How long in advance that we can enter to the venue to set up the booth?
so Newt, we're having an exhibition webinar tomorrow to go over all the exhibition part.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll forward you the invitation. It's mainly going to be the same types of webinar as this one, but just for the exhibition. If anyone is interested, I can forward the invitation as well.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roman, I think that we left a question from Supinko. Could you speak more about cleanup after the symposium?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Not a problem.
So Supin, thank you. You will need to make sure that your room is cleared prior to the next session. So you usually have them 15 minutes after the end of your symposium to clear the room. And that includes taking the roll-up banner as well, if you've placed that. For catering, the catering will come with a service outside of the room. So the table setup and all of that will be taken care of by the caterers. I hope that answers the question.
All right. If there are no other questions, I suggest that we.
Sorry, it's Ashrina again. One last question.
Yeah.
Digital signage. is that just the door digital signage, or is there digital signage within the symposia hall?
There's there's a few. So on the entrance of the door, there's a screen, and we'll take care of labeling that. And then on inside the symposium room, in terms of visuals and designs, the one spot is the podium branding. That's digital. It will show WCN branding as default, but if you want to customize it, it's possible. There's just a small fee to do the changeover, but and you can book that with us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for your time today. We'll put the recording shortly in the manual as well as the site. Thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful, and feel free to email us if you have any more questions.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And see you in Thailand.
Thank you. Thanks for your help.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.